Members, I'm here to present SCR 124, which recognizes June 2014 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month and June 21st, 2014 as the longest day, to honor the strength, passion, and endurance of patients, caregivers, families, and researchers that face the challenges of Alzheimer's in search for a cure. Worldwide, there are 44 million people living with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias, and without a change, these numbers are expected to grow to 76 million by 2030. An estimated 5 million people 65 years of age and over have Alzheimer's disease, and another 200,000 people under 65 years of age have younger onset Alzheimer's. The human toll it takes on our families and our economy is staggering. In 2013, more than 15 million caregivers provided over 17 billion hours of unpaid care to people with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. Alzheimer's is estimated to cost the U.S. economy $214 billion in 2014 and could reach over $30 billion a year by 2030 in California alone. Members, unfortunately, there is currently no way to prevent, cure, or even slow down the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Researchers in California and around the world continue to tirelessly work to develop scientific breakthroughs that we all hope could one day bring about a world without Alzheimer's disease. And members, may I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank all of you for your support on the BRAIN initiative, which all of you, I think, voted for recently, which can do a lot to make a change with regard to this devastating disease. And members, just real quickly, too, our delegation from Catalonia had an opportunity to speak with them last night. This is truly a worldwide concern, and they themselves have their own BRAIN initiative to bring about change and research on this disease. SCR 124 honors these heroes by raising awareness of the impact Alzheimer's has on all of our lives and to recognize the dedication and perseverance of the individuals, families, friends, and caregivers dealing with Alzheimer's, as well as the researchers who are seeking a cause or a cure. Please join me in dedicating June 2014 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, and I encourage everyone to participate in the longest day with a day of activity this Saturday, June 21st. Members, I respectfully ask for your aye vote, and after the vote, I will be introducing our visitors. Thank you, Madam President.
Debate or discussion, members? Senator De Leon.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to add a few comments and express my solidarity with our Majority Leader, Senator Corbett. For those who have been touched by Alzheimer's, I know that my daughter's grandfather suffered from Alzheimer's and eventually passed away from Alzheimer's. For a good while, I took care of him along with other family members. It is a very, very difficult disease, and I know the first time I was sworn into office, to any elected office, was in the State Assembly back in 2006 in December. And I remember that he was up here in the state capitol, and I was late running down to the assembly floor to get sworn in because I was actually, all the family members were already up in the gallery on the floor, and I was actually taking care of him at that moment. And it is a very, very tough disease for those who have been impacted by Alzheimer's. And the reality is that we need to invest, in life sciences to find a cure sooner rather than later, because it impacts regardless if you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, urban, suburban, rural, Latino, white, black, Asian American. It impacts all individuals. So I just want to express my solidarity to you and to those individuals who currently have Alzheimer's, especially the family members who take care of loved ones with Alzheimer's. It impacts the whole family, especially the caretakers, whether you're the spouse or you're the son or daughter. It just devastatingly impacts the whole family. So I just want to express my solidarity.
Members, further debate or discussion? Senator Leno.
Thank you, Madam President. I also want to join in thanking Senator Corbett in bringing this resolution forward, but I also want to sincerely thank the Alzheimer's Association for their leadership in what is in fact, raging epidemic. Colleagues, Alzheimer's is now the sixth leading cause of death in California, but 10 years ago, it was not even listed among the top 10. 1 in 6 of us over 55 years of age will experience dementia, including Alzheimer's. And those who live to 85 years of age, every other American at that age will have some form of dementia. And there is no understanding yet of the reasons for this. So we have no treatment, we have no cure. Though this is the fastest growing disease in the country, the percentage of what we invest of federal dollars in researching Alzheimer's is a minuscule percentage of what we spend on cancer research. We really must take much greater note of this. And it gets very personal very fast. You can see as the numbers escalate, the degrees of separation between yourself and someone you know with Alzheimer's will get ever closer. My mother, who died last year, dealt with Alzheimer's for the last 10 years of her life. And though it was devastating to see this brilliant, active woman and her life continue to contract and contract, our family's blessing was, number one, we were able to keep her at home with good care, and so she was surrounded by love. And I'm convinced that because of that, as the disease progressed and she lost more and more of her ability to take care of herself and participate in the world, that she became ever sweeter and sweeter. That's not always the case. Sometimes those dealing with Alzheimer's can get very violent, and their loved ones can no longer take care of them, and they have to be put into a care institution. And that, of course, is impacting the increasing costs of provision of care through Medi-Cal. And that's going to be something we're going to have to deal with as policymakers as the years pass. So we need to be activists and advocates. We need to join with the Alzheimer's Association to raise the necessary funds to be able to encourage those in Washington, where the real purse strings are, to further invest in research, because this will be impacting all of us over the next 20, 25 years. Here in California, the number of those with Alzheimer's will nearly double to about 1.1 million. This is a serious issue. Thank you, Senator Corbett, for bringing our attention to it today.
Thank you.
Further debate or discussion? Senator Wyland.
I'd just like to note that I also appreciate Senator Corbett, the mention of other dementias and brain issues. I have two close friends who have Parkinson's. One of them, a brilliant, nationally known attorney whose career ended short. And it is devastating to see when it sometimes happens at younger ages. Here is a man who was commencing a big trial, nationally watched trial, when it progressed to a point where he could no longer continue and could no longer continue to practice law. So this is an enormous issue, and it is very, very personal to many of us. So thank you for doing this.
Further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Corbett, would you like to close?
Yes, I just want to say thank you once again to all my colleagues for their support in this very important cause, and thank you for sharing your personal stories. Indeed, we must make sure we continue to call our attention to a cure and to treatments. And not only is it the humanitarian thing to do, but it really has a huge impact on the future of our state. Members, I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Secretary, please call for the vote.
Anderson. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Canella. Aye. Corbett. Aye. Correa. De Leon. Aye. DeSaulnier. Aye. Evans. Aye. Fuller.
Aye.
Aye. Gaines. Galgiani. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Knight. Aye. Lara. Aye. Leno. Ted Lieu. Carol Lieu. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Morrell. Aye. Nielsen. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. I. Steinberg. I. Torres. I. Vidak. I. Walters. I. Wolk. I. Wyland. Wyland, aye. Huff, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Block. Correa. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Leno. I. Tedlu. I. Monning. Monning, aye.
Ayes 35, noes 0. The resolution is adopted. We're going to go on to Senator Corbett's next item. Is that? Would you like to take it
I'm
up?
going to introduce the guests that are here. Thank
Okay.
you very much,
Please-
Madam President.
Please do so.
So I want to introduce some wonderful and amazing and dedicated individuals from around the East Bay, California heroes who represent all of the selfless advocates, caregivers, and researchers around our state who give so much of themselves to help those afflicted with Alzheimer's. So today with me, we have Denise Sakuda of Fremont. She's a retired special education teacher with the Fremont Unified School District and was for many years the primary caregiver for her mother-in-law who died of Alzheimer's. Denise is a classic woman of the sandwich generation, juggling caring for her mother-in-law and raising 3 children and pursuing her own career. Genevieve Schiffrar of Oakland is here on behalf of her father, Arthur Schiffrar, 88, of Fremont. Arthur Schiffrar is a World War II veteran. He's lived in Fremont since 1949 and ran a successful local business for 30 years. She struggles with watching her father's changes into a different person than the strong man that she knows him as. As a caregiver, she has also seen how friends sometimes don't visit as often they used to. Unfortunately, members, the loss of memory is still a stigma in our society. And Genevieve hopes that declaring June as California Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month will help to increase public understanding of Alzheimer's. Rick Perkins, 72, of San Lorenzo, is a military veteran and retired electrical contractor. For 15 years, he was the primary caregiver for his mother who had Alzheimer's disease, caring for her at home until her death 4 years ago. Rick was also the primary caregiver for his uncle who had Alzheimer's for 4 years, and till no longer he could lift his uncle, he was placed in a facility and passed away this past February. And Dr. William Jagas, the head of the Jagas Library at the the Jagas Lab at the University of California, Berkeley, is engaged in the study of brain aging and dementia. He was also a 2013 recipient of the American Academy of Neurology's Potamkin Prize for research in PICS, Alzheimer's, and related diseases. Dr. Jagas runs a lab of around 30 fellows, graduate students, staff, and undergraduates, all focused on unlocking the causes and effects of age and dementia on the brain. Members, let's give these great heroes and representatives of so many who are not here with us today a great welcome and round of applause. Thank you very much.